If you carefully listen to your favorite track, you will notice that if you follow these 5 tips of this video in 2025, you get your best track ever. So let's get to it. Your favorite track probably created something unique, something new. Different samples from different libraries. For example, you can use hip hop samples, trap samples, jazz samples to create something unique. Use different textures, different type of sounds and introduce into your EDM track. You can experiment with different synthesis techniques, sampling methods, and sound design approaches. You can easily use this sample here, for example, for kick. And clap. This is nothing new for you, but we can use different type of sounds here. For example, you can use like glitches, loops. This is not so popular in tech house, for example, and this started to sound more unique. This can be a hook for your track, for example. And you can add open head. So this is very unique, but for example, you can use here in Ableton. For example, this is very unique and you can use as a percussion. Listen, this is very unique, very good, very different. Like, it's very hard to find here in Ableton stock different type of sounds. There's a lot of samples here, but most of the time is some popular drum samples from drum machines. Like, in my library, you can find a lot of different type of sounds like this. Oops, here for example. There's a lot of different sounds here you can use. And this is very unique, but I suggest you to use different sounds too. Like for example, if you don't have my library, you can use, for example, Cymatic samples. They give a lot of free samples on their site. I have almost all the samples of them because I won a contest. So one of the prizes was this sample library. You can check there. But for example, you can have the beta, Slayer beta for example, and you can use samples from trap. Listen, this is very different. And even the hats, you can try to use different hats, but most of the time it won't. Maybe we can layer it. Somewhere else. For example, this. And listen, your track is very unique. This can work. So we created something unique with our drum, but we can use different tools. So we can use this. We can use this sampler and start to create something with this. So don't forget like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. This is free and help me a lot, and this way I can keep making videos for you for free. The best thing you can do for yourself is to have less tools and understand better these tools. For example, you don't want to use a hammer to open a car's doors, and trust me, there's a lot of producers using hammer to open cars doors. You need to understand what you do, and there's a lot of tutorials right there that teach you how to use every single tool. So if you want to use a new plugin, before buy, try it, see how the producers usually works with it, and if it is what you want to use. And here is the trick that you use the right tool. For example, you have to use the right tool for sidechaining. You could do the sidechain with this utility, for example, by reducing the volume of this kick. It would work, but like, we have the right tool for it. That's why it's so important to understand the right tool. Listen, the sidechain works, but imagine if something goes wrong here, we're gonna have a problem in the middle of the track. If we just use the kickstart, for example, for example, here we have in Pro Q, we can do sidechain in different ways. And I just can do that because I know the tool I'm using. You have to understand what tool you are using. And you can try to experiment here, like with the glide. Like this. Use the right samples. As I said in tip number 1, you need to use different sounds, different samples, different synthesis techniques, but you need to create something unique. People will accept better if the sounds that you create sounds unique, but in the same way, something similar to what they use it to listen. And for the most of the house tracks, for example, you need that punch kick and the tight clap open head. And for sure, you can change that. You have to create something more unique, but you need to create something unique. The other hand, you need to create something that people already use it to. So it will be better for your career and better for the listener experience. And you can. The tip number 4 is to understand what your favorite artist and your favorite sound does. For example, you can add your favorite track into Moises AI, for example. You can create separate stems and understand how the drum sounds, how the drums develop during the track, how the bass is, how the bass develop during the track, and you can do it with every single element. And this is very important because most of the time you will notice it that you need to remove stuff instead of adding something. And trust me, a lot of producers out there overproduce their tracks, so you can't create something more clean and unique. And other thing very important is to create network with other producers. For me, it's very important to build connections with different engineers and producers, so this way we can exchange knowledge, technical knowledge. And how you can do that? You can get in forums, workshops, collaborate on projects with other producers. You can go to parties around your city. This way a lot of people will connect with you, and this will allow you to learn way more. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. This is free and help me a lot.